Hey, it's Tears. I'm going to try to do just a quick update. Not as quick as the one I tried to do July 15th, because that would only post as a short, so I just chose not to post it. I was basically saying that I was coming back on August 1st to do my typical monthly updates that I normally do. I did not want to get on my smart scale until I was back down to the weight I was last on the smart scale, but I realized that I needed to see where my health is, what's going on, what my measurements are, and this way I can proactively work on that. The lowest I've ever seen on my scale was 156.1, but on my smart scale, February 1st was the last official recording I did, and that was 156.6. And when I got on the scale today, it was hilarious because my phone said, like, there's been a change. Are you sure this is you? Yeah, it's me, unfortunately. So let me just get into the numbers. I didn't do my blood sugar or my blood pressure, any of that stuff. It's already almost 10:30. Excuse me. And I just got out the shower. A lot of running around. My car got all the windows smashed and everything stolen out of it this morning. So it's already, today's been given, okay? So, February 1st, I weighed 156.6. Today, 194.6. So in the 6 months, I am up 38 pounds, although it was actually up a whole lot more than that. Because I didn't give an update really in a while, Larry from Carnivore Quest did have a chat with me, and we did go over like my history a little bit and some of where I currently was about a month ago. So you could see kind of a little update with me on there if you want to check that out. Again, that is Carnivore Quest. And we had a nice little conversation, and that went through some of where I was at that time period. Anyway, inches. Total inches gained 27.5. It's almost like my pounds and my inches seem to match for some reason. So 38 pounds up, 27.5. A lot of that is in the trunk area. Although my arm went up, my one arm went up 1 inch, one went up 1.5, my one thigh went up 2 inches, one thigh went up 3, my one calf went up 2, the other calf went up 2, hips went up 5.5, upper waist, that's the one that I measure, that's like here at my smallest point in my body, that went up a 5. And my lower waist, which is sort of more of where people's natural waist is, where the belly button is, that went up 5.5 as well. So, yeah, not digging it. I took a screenshot because my scale will show the comparison from February to now of where I am, but I'll just run through it real quick. The things that really disturbed me, which was my skeletal muscle. Because my skeletal muscle went down 5.6 pounds, and skeletal muscle is super important. So my muscle mass went up, obviously because I'm bigger, but my skeletal muscle went down, and that was really disturbing, 5.6. My visceral fat was just in the green, and now it's in the yellow, and it says slightly high, so it went from 8 to 13. So visceral fat is really dangerous. I'm not happy about that. Metabolic age. So in February, it was 2 months before my 46th birthday, and it had my metabolic age as 44, which was making me a year younger than my actual age. And, you know, in a couple months, if it stayed that way, it would have made me 2 years younger than my actual age. Well, today I'm 53. Nothing wrong with being 53 except for when you're 46. So, yeah, I'm up 9 from the last time, and yeah, so I'm older by quite a few years from my real age. And right now with these lines on my eyes and my forehead, I feel like I do look 53. Nah, probably not even, because some 53-year-olds look really good. Sorry, I had my coffee. So that is where I am at. Like I said, I didn't do my blood ketose or ketones. There's just too much going on, and I had to have my coffee. Like, not that I'm like addicted to coffee, I just needed to start my day because I do really good on a routine, and I'm already way behind what I normally do. So, and I just got out the shower. Yeah. So going forward, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing right now. I am more on a keto diet, maybe ketovore. I have coffee with collagen powder in it, a little tiny bit of stevia. Actually, I had to dump my coffee because with this pure stevia, it's really hard for me to gauge. I don't know. It was disgusting. Like I had to just dump it, which really was disappointing because I think I dumped all my collagen. But collagen powder is expensive, and I wasn't gonna redo that, so whatever. I take my medicine and some of my vitamins when I do my coffee because there's fat in it, so I can do that almost like having it as a meal or having it with a meal. And then later on I'll have my food, which is about, give or take, a pound of some kind of meat, usually 4 eggs, and one of those big steamable bags of vegetables. I tend to rotate through cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, and Brussels sprouts, and some cheese. Really doing better having smaller portions of cheese, especially because my dog loves cheese, so she always comes and eats with me and I share. So that's kind of how I've been eating lately. So I have brought back some veg and it's been working well. And I think some in the community, like the Carnivore Quest community that I follow, they're doing some kind of fast. Larry's gonna do a 30-day sardine fast. He's got that. I like sardines enough, but I need to have like cheese and eggs or stuff like that when I have sardines. So if I did ever do a sardine fast, it would be very few days, or it would be like sardines, eggs, and cheese fast. But what I've decided to do, since I've been having a lot of trouble fasting, I think it though was because even though my weight was still high, I have a lot of loose skin, and I actually think my body fat wasn't really what it was saying with this SMART scale, honestly. And I think my body just really couldn't do those extended fastings that I had been doing. But I think what I'm going to do is 1 day a week, a 24-hour to 36-hour fast. I'm going to start with 24 hours and see how that goes. And I'm going to leave everything exactly the same. The exercise that I'm doing, which is just walking in my trampoline and my little dumbbell exercises. I'll include my steps for the month too, for this last month, because I got a lot in July, I did. And that's what I'm doing moving forward, and I hope I can get some of these numbers down. It's amazing because the truth of the matter is I gained so much more weight, and God only knows what my measurements were in a really short period of time, like 3 months, and yet almost that same amount of time I'm still kind of high. So I think it's going to take me, if I'm being realistic, 4 to 5 months to get back to where I was. And I'm okay with that. It is what it is. It has to be a health journey. And that was another thing in my last video I wanted to update. I never updated about the medical stuff, but I'll be honest with you, I like still can't wrap my mind around some of the things that are going on. Like the acid reflux so bad it messed up my teeth. My endoscopy, the whole stomach was inflamed, my whole esophagus, including, they said, like an area right behind my teeth, there was like a thing of plaque. They did all kinds of things. They basically said it's not from my sleeve, that the sleeve looks intact and there's no strictures or anything like that. And they thought maybe it could be C. diff and something else, but they tested for that when they did the biopsies, and I did not have any of that. So it said something like the precursor to cancer. I don't know what that means. I've heard of precancerous cells, but that's not what it said. So I canceled my appointment. I had an appointment to go back because I had to go to the doctor with the person I work for. And now I can't get an appointment for like a year. So I don't know what to do with any of this information. I don't know where I go from here. I'm just trying to make better choices. I noticed that a lot of the symptoms I was having have gotten better once I stopped eating the ground turkey, chicken, and ground pork. I haven't been having as many of the gastric symptoms as I was having. I still have the acid reflux pretty bad though. I took the medicine for 3.5 months. It did nothing. If anything, I felt like I was getting worse, so I've stopped taking that for over a month at this point. So that's really all there is. My Achilles tendon, that scan was crazy, all the things wrong with it, but that's actually starting to feel so much better. That's why I was able to pick up all my steps this month. So I'm very grateful for that. Anyway, I'm babbling. Till next time.